Yes, you. Do you dread waking up in the morning? Are you feeling helpless in your society? Perhaps even a bit lost? Well, look no further.
Well, as millions head to U.S. national parks this summer, we are shedding light on a little-known list called the List of the Missing.
All new Scareflix merch 10% off.
A ranger on the list of the missing for more than 4 decades, and cases go back further. The National Park Service has faithfully kept records of visitors who are gone, often without a trace. And the list is long.
Police have identified 4 victims and plan on more than just the 4 murder charges filed today.
Good evening. You're turned into Scareflix News at midnight.
Confirm earlier reports of cannibalism.
Reports are coming in of unexplained screams echoing through an abandoned coal mine in West Virginia.
The building was a scene of ghoulish slaughter.
Local authorities refuse to investigate. Witnesses say it doesn't want to be found.
A large kettle on the stove which held boiled body parts.
In other news, several viewers have claimed strange activity begins the moment they tune into live stream on a channel called Scareflix.
Identified 4 victims.
Please stay indoors, lock your doors, and whatever you do, don't go offline. You're watching Scareflix News, your last reliable source for what lurks after dark.
Welcome to Scareflix, where nightmares come to life. In just a few seconds, the scariest videos on YouTube will begin.
Hello.
Are you ready to face your fears? Hold tight, the terror is about to start.
Well, look who wandered in. Welcome back to Scareflix, where the shadows watch you. The stream will begin shortly, but don't get too comfortable. Tonight's show? Twisted? All that? Just some unfinished business in the basement, nothing for you to worry about. Yet, while you're here, tap that like button, and if you're brave enough, subscribe, because once you're in, there's no turning back. We'll see you soon, or maybe sooner than you think. Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Scareflix. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. It's been a while, 2 weeks. Been hanging out with my family, doing some things, so trying to get some energy to get back to work for you guys to get some videos. Tonight we're going to be going through the Paranormal Files. Much love for them. They got a new video letting us react to, break down about Skinwalker Ranch and the land around Skinwalkers. So I appreciate you guys tonight, and let's get into it.
There are some places in this world that we weren't meant to discover.
For years,
Skinwalker Village in Nevada
has been well known for its sightings of skinwalkers.
Cursed locations in remote areas where even the dead are afraid to step foot.
Not
Locals
me.
in this area claim that if you visit this
Bentley
area
Good Red,
at
what's
night,
up?
you're putting
I'm
your
so
life in
scared.
danger.
Hell yeah, Fred, we're getting
Stories
there.
go when that sun goes down like this is when the spirits start to wake up.
You can definitely feel it already. I mean, look at these buildings, dude.
Eerie,
The
huh?
Skinwalker, the Yanagloshi is its true name. The spirit people taught them how to shapeshift, how to jump in the skins.
If you've never been in Nevada, I'm telling you right now, the desert out there, just the creepiest stuff. The creepiest stuff. All the just vast miles of desert, just crazy.
One of the major ones you have to go through is the sacrificing of one of your loved ones.
But right now, we're at a place that has been called Skinwalker Village. And we're straight up the only people in this canyon. I love it. Are there evil spirits
Going out there
in
with
this area?
the spirit box is wild. Thick Skinwalker baddies? I don't think so, bud. Maybe. Might get a thick one. Who knows? On a regular screen, flip your screen sideways, bud. Once we get to it, we're going to be streaming both for vertical and horizontal.
In May of
Just bear with us. Much
2025,
love.
Connor and I set forth into the Nevadan desert in search of skinwalkers. The
Much love
location
to the
we were
Paranormal
headed
Files,
to
too.
is known as Fort Churchill. It's a pretty infamous place in Nevada history. In this video, you're going to see some things that will shock you. You're going to hear some stories that will disturb you, and you might just see the proof of skinwalkers that you've been searching for.
Hell yeah,
this
Cameron.
investigation was terrifying.
How you doing
We were
tonight?
all
I'm on a
alone,
short,
out in
yup.
the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert, surrounded by the pitch black of night, in an area supposedly haunted by some of the most evil beings known to man, the Skinwalker. Driving out there that evening, I couldn't
The
help
Skinwalker.
but notice how desolate the area was, how cut off it seemed from the rest of the world.
So dead.
Once we got out of our vehicle, we noticed something else. It was completely silent.
Very possible,
Too
Cutler.
silent. That evening, we were investigating Fort Churchill in Nevada.
Today's video was brought to you by the team behind the upcoming horror film Weapons.
Of history. In the mid-1800s, the Nevada desert was a crucible of conflict, where the relentless sun scorched the earth and tensions between Native Americans and settlers simmered.
I just got back from Nevada, and I'm gonna tell you something. It was 115 degrees out there. It was hot as hell. Oh my god.
The Paiute, Shoshone, and Washoe tribes had long thrived in this harsh landscape.
Reinforcements?
But the
I kinda wanna
1859
go.
discovery of the Comstock lode brought a flood of miners and settlers
Go
in,
during the
hungry
winter.
for silver and gold. These newcomers to the area cut down
Okay, we get all this stuff. Let's get to the point where you start actually doing some
an
paranormal
area
stuff.
to sleep at night as if nothing ever happened. As you can see, this fort has an extremely dark, hidden history. And that's why we were excited to arrive there that evening to investigate it for ourselves.
I've already explained in the video, I believe at this point, what this area is, but we're like kind of
Demons.
way out in the middle of nowhere. This is a park area. Haven't seen any other cars or anybody else around here.
Yeah,
but
'cause you're out in the middle
before
of
the sun
nowhere.
goes down, we should take a look real quick.
Nowhere. Much love for joining us, Ron. Appreciate you, bud.
This is our second camera for the night, our static camera. But to be fair, for years we shot the entire show just on these. Didn't even use a Sony or anything.
For a while on one of these.
Yeah, didn't even have two cameras, which is nuts. But
Now
this
you're
is
up,
the
bud.
cemetery here. What's interesting is, so you actually look here at the sign. Basically, this cemetery right here was a place for soldiers that were killed in local battles, those that died from exposure, illness, and hardship. I don't know what that
Ghosts aren't
necessarily
real, bud?
means. Maybe like starving or even doing something to yourself. I
What's
don't
up, Misty? How you doing
necessarily know.
tonight?
But out of the 44 soldiers that were moved out of here and reinterred, they only know the name of one of them. So that's 43 people that died right here in this area, whose identities are completely unknown, lost to time, whose bodies are no longer here.
Oh,
But
wow.
I don't know. In a lot of people's theories, that would be a recipe for a haunting. you
Yeah.
know? It's interesting. I didn't know this beforehand. Today, the old cemetery holds the
What's up, cool
remains
kid?
of Samuel Buckland, local rancher and pioneer. Beside him are the remains of his wife, Eliza Ann, and 5 of their 8 children.
Churchill State Park.
So there are still 6 people buried here on the fort property. I just find that interesting that they don't know the names of 43 of the 44 soldiers who were moved. These men / women, I don't know what the gender makeup was of those people. They died here, and their names were forever forgotten. Their tombstones had worn
What's up,
away
Dad?
too much.
Yo, if you guys like the video, support, hit that heart next to us. It supports us. It helps us get out into the algorithm. More people see us. I
Fun
appreciate
little
that.
rock right here, but you can see there's one of the headstones there. Oh, unknown soldier.
I've been to one of these out in Arizona when I went to
Oh, I
Tombstone.
get it. Is there
They
an
had
unknown soldier
hella
buried here? When you
hella
really think about
graveyards.
It's like, you know, for all we know, there could be double that amount of people buried in this area that they just
More
didn't
than
know
that,
about.
I
hundreds.
mean, think of the ones that just died out here and weren't found.
Yeah.
I mean, bodies start decaying, animals start dragging them away.
Yeah. And this area obviously was a hotspot for conflicts with indigenous peoples. And this whole fort, you know, having been constructed after the massacres that were occurring in the battles between the indigenous and the white kind of settlers and pioneers out here. So this fort was definitely something that those indigenous folks would have hated. And I get it. I totally
Wow.
understand why. I mean, the genocide of the indigenous peoples, something that we don't talk about a lot in America, that should be talked about more. But it is interesting because there are these allegations that this area could be a hotspot for Skinwalker activity, but there's also
paranormal
explosion almost.
I know, like a deep boom. There's 44 people who died on this property recorded, and then the rancher and his wife and the 5 kids, so that makes 51 deaths.
Damn.
Right here on this land. So whoever's out here, if you're in the cemetery, if you're out here and you can hear our voices, we're just coming to speak with you. We want to talk to you and we want to hear your stories. So please try to come talk to us this evening.
And like he said, no need to be afraid of us. We respect this land.
Let's be real, buddy. No one's afraid of you. You look like the friendliest guy on the block.
We don't want to harm you. We just want to have good conversation tonight. So please come talk to us and tell us your story.
It really is interesting. It's like so quiet out here and just like still.
I just think about it. Look out this way. And all these mountains out here, and think that there's so much of these mountains that
What's up, Griffin? What's up,
no
Cutler?
human has ever touched.
Right. It's very eerie.
Beautiful, but eerie. What?
They are the Walking Dead, Choppa.
Did you hear that? It sounded like that, like crinkling. So I thought it was like footsteps or something. Look, yeah, here's
I'm pretty sure I've been to this gravesite as well.
Samuel Sanford Buckland, Eliza Ann.
Itching to scratch. What's up, bud? They're exploring a Skinwalker village in Nevada. Also, semi-haunted area from like a battlefield massacre.
Eliza, 2-day-old infant. That's
2
sad.
days? That's crazy. What's up, Star? How you doing tonight?
Charles.
Jack Black? Hell
He
yeah.
suffered
Love Jack
long,
Black.
but his suffering's o'er.
That's crazy.
You hear that whistle? Listen.
Bro, that could be the wind cutting, though. We don't really know. We don't really know.
That was like a straight up like. Samuel Theodore, just 2 years old. He was for earth too pure a flower. He did not long remain. God took him to his heavenly bower, where we shall meet again. Sanford. 1 year. Wow, a lot of children dying that were very young.
That's pretty
2
sad.
days, a year. Yeah, honestly. And then look.
Random.
Daniel Burrier.
35 years old.
Who's he?
Much love, Hannah. I appreciate that.
Didn't say anything about him.
I appreciate that. Hell yeah.
Well,
I don't think he did.
I think it's time we should head over to
Skinwalkers?
the
Do we
village.
believe in Skinwalkers, chat?
Agree. It's always crazy to me to think there was a lot more going on at the time, but people coming across America, starting on the East Coast and coming all the way through and seeing how much of the landscape across America changes. I mean, like, you go through Midwest and like all Central America and it's just flat, and then you come out here. Just imagine trying to find your way across this before there was any roads or anything.
Yeah, it had to be like, what the
That's why we have the star system.
Until I guess you hit water.
yeah. You're from New York. What the
Skinwalkers are tough. Hell
see?
yeah.
I haven't seen water for years.
I'm
Wow,
sure that's
where's
exactly
the water?
what the settlers were saying.
I think we found water, bud.
Wow, it is pretty though. Look at that.
It is pretty.
Before we get any further, we need to talk a little bit about skin.
Gather those objects.
Oh, that's my bad. My
North is-
bad. My bad. My
Find
bad.
your way across this. Before there was
I apologize. I apologize.
before there was any roads or anything.
Yeah, it had to be like, what the
What's up, Matt? How you doing, bud?
It's like you're going until I guess you hit water.
Is with
There we go.
Skinwalkers himself, and I feel that it's important that we get into this interview before
I
we
believe
get
in
into
it
the
all.
rest
Hell
of
yeah,
the
Hannah.
video,
Me too.
so you really understand what a Skinwalker
Me
is.
too.
There's a lot of misinformation out there, as you probably already know. So sit down, grab a drink, and let's get into some of these
I didn't.
spooky
No.
Skinwalker stories.
We messed up, but we're back, duds.
So, all right.
Bro has the Pippin pipe,
Get a little
buddy.
closer so I can pick you up better.
Yacht A, hello, my name is Sean Klin. I'm a Shihin Ishle, but do Bilagana Bashichin, Kashe Ada Shiche Ado Bilagana Ada Shanella. So
Oh,
I
hell
introduce
yeah.
my clans, that's where I come from. I'm Navajo, I'm Diné from the Navajo Nation, so I
Okay.
come from up north of where these mountains are here and everything. So I was asked to come do an interview here to kind of shed some light on some of the darker beings that hail from our lands
His
up
necklace
north,
is
as well
badass.
as maybe have trickled down to the beings here, or the tribes that are down here more to the south, the Apaches as well. So the stories and lore go back of the Skinwalker. The Yanagloshi is its true name. Throughout the years, Yanagloshi comes out to the terms in English of jumping the skins. So these are essentially a long time ago, they were medicinal people that used to go to sacred mountains, just like this one that's behind me here. In our Navajo Nation, they needed to travel to the 4 sacred mountains really quickly.
Okay.
So, to be able to perform a bundle ceremony, which is a sacred ceremony that's used to be able to make these bundles that provide protection for certain family members as well as the tribe and kind of the clan itself.
Oh wow.
Now, for this ceremony to work, they needed to traverse the land in 4 days. So they needed a
Yo, what's good, Matt? Good. How about you? Hell yeah, we're doing great, bud. Got some energy back after the baby. You know what I'm saying? All that sleep deprivation. How's the baby, bro? Great. He's doing great. He's getting so big, man. I'm so happy. Can't wait till he gets a little bit older. We can take him, start
quick
doing
way.
more things.
This was before vehicles,
How are you guys all?
helicopters, or anything like that was available. So the spirit people taught them how to shapeshift, how to jump in the skins. Now it was used for good back in the day, but with goodness always is followed by evil. So goodness and evil both come hand in hand. When it comes to that, you know, they're throughout time, you
Holy
know,
hell.
it's a very, very long process to be able to learn how to shapeshift. It takes years, decades to be able to learn how to shapeshift in the good way, to be able to call upon the songs, call upon the spirits, and to be able to shapeshift into whether it be a coyote, whether it be a deer or a cougar or any other animal.
Bro, I want to be a tiger. Let's be real here. Let's be real. I need to be a tiger. That'd be dope. Yo, that'd be... Your daughter's 5? Bro, mine just turned 4 like 2 days ago, so I hear you on that, Matt. Wondered where you been, didn't know if I'd missed some lives. No, but I had to go do some things with some family, travel out of state, and now we're back. We back on track, you know. Congrats on the baby. I appreciate that, Stella. Much love for that. Duds, I got you, buddy. We'll get back to the show.
That were readily available up there in the tribes. But evil kind of came along to some of the
I don't know if he
weaker-minded,
can.
Medicinal people in training and told them, it's like, okay,
On camera, hell
I
yeah.
can teach you how to do this in a quicker way. So they told them, you can learn how to do this in a very, very cut decades out of your training and be able to learn how to do it quickly. It came at a cost, unfortunately. To be able to become a skinwalker in the evil way, there's a lot of steps you have to go through, but one of the major ones you have to go through is the sacrificing of one of your loved ones. Once you sacrifice one of your loved ones, it could be your newborn child, your wife, your mother.
Oh, hell no. What is wrong? Who? You know what? We're going to continue the video.
Grandfather, sibling, anything like that, one you find dearest,
Hannah's
closest
laughing.
to your heart. Now, once you do that, you have to do a lot of stuff with the body. You have to do a lot of ceremonies with it too, to be able to, you know, go really down to make your contract and in a sense deal with the devil kind of thing. when it comes down to that, then you also have to get your skin.
Hell yeah,
You
Dutch,
have to
much
go
love.
and really do a lot of evil things. I guess you can say how they do it in the good way. You have to do it backwards and do a lot of crazy things with it. So when it comes to that stuff, you know, there's a lot of stories that go beyond that. So back in the day, it was also used for wartime too. We used to use it against the Utes. We used to use it against Apaches. We used to use it against the cavalry a long time ago.
I've heard stories about that, about them shape shifting against like cavalry. I didn't know they did it to Apache members, but who knows? Who knows? Yo, I just wanted to stop to say much love to everybody that's tuning into the stream tonight. I appreciate our members, our Patreons. Much love to all of you guys. Tonight we're gonna release chapter, I believe it is 4 of our comic series Scareland with our favorite clown, Henry the Clown. You guys know we have a comic series out that we dropped with some little comic book with some storylines for you guys. We drop the chapters every week. Haven't been able to drop the chapter the past week, but we'll drop something tonight for you guys. Real quick, I'm just going to do the member roll call. If I miss anybody, don't worry. I'm going to get you guys in this next one. Much love to all of our Patreons and our members. I appreciate you guys. Your support helps us on our endeavors, future endeavors, to go do our own ghost hunting once we get to that point one day. So I appreciate you all, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Check us out. Yo, we're back. Much love for that, you guys. Appreciate you all.
But
what's up,
as kind of
Amaga?
time
Not
went
the AI
on,
clown.
you
Hell
know,
yeah.
A lot of the good medicinal people started passing away. That's where the wars of medicinal people kind of started happening.
What's
You
up,
know,
Jerks?
That's where a lot of the good medicine men were starting to get killed off by evil medicinal people as well.
The AI
so
clown is fire.
That's where you kind of started to see a lot more of the
Nope.
evil skinwalkers kind of taking more of a foothold in the Navajo Nation. Toward modern day, there's definitely not as many, but I can definitely tell you, all you viewers out there who are from the Navajo Nation probably have a story of you living out in a rural area. Nearest neighbors like 2-3 miles away. You're living in your hogan, no running water or electricity. Middle of the night, you hear something walking on your roof. You hear scratching and all that on your door. So there's a lot of those stories that in modern day kind of run around and all that. So you be running around, you be driving on the reservation, and you see these dark things. You hear their dog whistles. You hear them.
The
coming
dog
around.
whistles.
So that's one of the things. Is it's very, very. There's a coyote.
Did you hear that?
Get some help.
Fuck no.
Right there as I'm talking about
Yeah.
this.
Excuse my French.
So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, even kind of us talking about this, whenever they say in our tribe, it's taboo to talk about them.
Skinwalker Ranch,
But
hell
when you
yeah.
talk about them, it's in a sense you're making a line of communication. In a sense, you're praying to them, without you kind of knowing you're opening up that line of communication.
Praying to the
That's how they know. They
Skinwalkers?
perk up their ears.
That's kind of crazy.
And they hear you like that. They hear you kind of coming around and doing this stuff. So then they'll come to your house. They can witch you. They can kill you. They have this. They're also called grave robbers as well. So they
Grave
go
robbers?
to a lot of these cemeteries. They go to some family members. They dig them up. They get their bones, whether that be skin.
Oh, and they what is it called? They replicate them.
Or
I heard about
decay,
that too.
whatever state the body is in, and then they'll grind up the bones. They'll use bone knives, bone darts, or bone ash. They call it washte, and then they have the ability to paralyze you as well.
Oh, what?
So when it comes to that, you know, you be sleeping in the middle of the night. They'll
Where's the
paralyze you,
heart?
and they'll put
Who
that
knows,
bone
Stella?
ash on you. And they say if you don't get a ceremony soon, you're gonna die of a curse like that. To be able to inhale a human body like that, it's gonna get you sick and kill you. So that's one of the things, is like going to war, going to bat with these guys. You know, you always have to say, you don't talk about these guys, but there's always the second part to that, is unless you know how to deal with them. So that's why, like me, myself, and my brother, and then a few other warriors from our tribe, we know how to go against these beings. We know how to protect ourselves. We know the songs and ceremonies to go against the evil prayers, the songs, the curses that they put upon us. So that's why we're able to kind of talk about these beings and everything. Like I said, there's a possibility.
A Skinwalker or a Wendigo? Let's see. I don't think I'd want to encounter either of those things, Derek. I don't think either of those things are a good idea. If I have a family member, I'll pass. Right, Matt? 100%. Yo, we got this new like XP system. It's pretty cool. So apparently the more people comment and interact with the stream, the higher they get on the list. So there's like #1 members, #1 like gold chat. I have no idea. You know what? We're gonna figure it out together.
Mainly they'll be in the Navajo Nation, but there are some who have, I guess you can say, are relatives or married into other tribes, such as this land down here in the Apache lands. So
really, Yona, how's that like?
They're shapeshifters as well. You know, that's why down here, you know, it's not too far away from the Navajo Nation to where there's a possibility of skinwalkers being out here. So that's one thing. You always got to be on your guard wherever you go, and always leave offering, and just be careful not to leave anything behind. You know, they say if you leave your hair, if you leave anything else that's around you.
That's why I tell you guys, okay, a witch once told me, you ever go to like a cemetery or anywhere that you think is haunted, a haunted house, wash your shoes off the soles with water before you leave.
They can gather those.
You got a Twitch? I used to Twitch. I used to be signed to a little Twitch team for esports, but I don't Twitch. It's not my thing. I don't know. YouTube messes with me, and I mess with YouTube. So I like them.
That's kind of one
based
of those
on who
things.
talks
Like,
and interacts the most in the chat.
yeah,
Hell
you
yeah,
see,
Matt.
Like a lot of these social media things talk about skinwalkers being all the way.
Yeah,
in
Hannah,
the
he's
East
there
Coast, and it's
puffing
just
on
like,
a pipe.
Not really. Kind of don't really think it would be a skinwalker. Yeah, there's shapeshifters all over the place, but a skinwalker is a very specific type of shapeshifter. Each tribe, each race and nationality have their shapeshifters and everything. So I encourage you all, wherever you are.
So is a Wendigo considered a skinwalker?
Religion or race or tribe is in your area. Ask them. You know, I'm pretty sure they have.
Derek May,
they have their stories.
Is that the Appalachian Trail? Is that what you're talking about up in Tennessee? I know I drove through the Appalachian Trail when I was going from West Virginia to Virginia. Oh my God, West Virginia. I'm from California, bro, but West Virginia is just a whole nother world. Holy hell.
And their origins of where those shapeshifters come from, but that's kind of not so long or not so short, but rundown of what.
No, they're different.
So, have you had experiences with them?
Oh yeah, it's kind of weird to say. I don't know if you guys are kind of like spiritually sensitive to things, but normally when
based off their roots. Okay,
goes down like this is when the spirits start to wake up and everything. So that's why you heard the coyote. And then I don't know,
okay,
I
Derek.
heard I had like a little tinnitus. So whenever you have like tinnitus like that, they say that's when spirits are kind of talking with you and everything like that. So
I get tinnitus all the time.
All the time in our videos.
Hell yeah,
Where you
Stella.
say, oh my God, my ears ringing, and then something will happen right then.
It's just hella hot right now.
My brother is a
dying in here
person in our tribe, and so he kind of deals with the more darker side of beings, and whether that be, you know, skinwalkers, demons, if you say in English, kind of darker beings like that. So we used to go to homesteads whenever people would be having these beings kind of affect the family in that way. So we were called out to
Blackfoot here, and you think we have the weirdest traditions? Yo, Mikey, listen, bro. I've always wanted to go up to the Blackfoot reservations. Now, if I'm not wrong, I believe you guys are like the Montana region, right? Or I think it's like crosses between Idaho. It's somewhere. I almost made it out there. I was in Washington up north. And I was going through the Cascade Mountains, and it like spit me out on the east side of Washington. I was looking at the map, and it said Blackfoot reservations, and I was like, oh my God, I want to go look over there. That land looks absolutely beautiful.
Actually, one
Yep,
of our
too
relatives'
hot.
homestead
93 in
in
Memphis, felt like
Arizona, near
103.
Page, Arizona.
It was 115 a couple days ago when I was in Nevada, bro. 115 outside.
And they told
Yeah,
us
Mikey,
in this
hell yeah.
place there was a shack.
One day I'll visit it,
that
bro.
belonged to one of their grandfathers that passed away. And they always kind of felt something weird about that shack. And they tried asking other medicinal people, hey, can you come and, you know, do a ceremony or prayer to kind of chill out, the energies are in there. But for some reason, all the medicinal people would turn them away. they would say, no, that's too dark, that's too evil, I'm not going to go in there.
Too dark.
So they called upon us, and we went to go check it out. And
we're about to, Duds.
This was at the very, I'd had to have been like 14, maybe 16 years old when I was going out with my brother at that age. And this one was really creepy because this was one of my first times. My brother told me, he's like, there's possible skinwalkers, Yanagloshis out there. So I would always hear stories.
Oh, hell no.
You know, we kind of trained to be able to go against
Montana
these
would go through the middle
and
of
so
us.
it's like, okay, this is, you know, this
Underground
might be the
Railroad
real
and
deal,
Lost
so be
Walker.
ready.
Yeah,
So, okay.
geez. That's crazy, Mikey.
So we
That's
show
dope.
up at the house, and the sun was setting just like how it is right now. And we do like a little bit of scouting recon, and we check out the house and everything. We're just like, okay,
Virginia
we're gonna
Beach,
start the
upper
ceremony when
90s?
the sun
Oof.
goes down. So we don on our gear, we don on our protections, we do like a little protection ceremony whenever we go against these darker beings. So when that happened, the sun went down, we prepared to go over to the shack and everything. So, but while we were making our way over to the shack, it was very eerie because it was dark, but there was no moon and there was no stars on a clear day. And living out in the reservation, you know, you always see the Milky
stars,
Way
yeah.
at night.
Nevada at night, Arizona at night, beautiful. Like you don't think the world is round. You think it's go out there. You'll look straight and see stars. It's crazy. The humidity, yeah, I couldn't do that, bro. Like Florida and stuff like that, where it's not only hot but it's wet. Oh hell no, I could not do that. I hate summer, love fall, and winter. Same here, Matt. I'm a winter boy. That's why I'm gonna move up north. Probably gonna go to like Washington or Idaho or something. I need to. I know it gets cold, but I need to get away from this heat, man.
And it was very eerie because there was just an ominous feeling.
Bring the
of
cross with me?
darkness
Hell
around.
yeah, I got you, Duds.
So that's what my brother said. You know, it's just
That
this is
Lambo
one of those
dude.
things to be able to bring fear inside of you. That's what these evil beings feed off of, is that fear. So always stay strong with your prayer and who you are as a person.
With the prayers,
So I said,
gotta be a good person.
So we make our way over to the shed, or the little shack that was there. He told me to wait outside because I wasn't properly trained to deal with cursed objects at the time.
Okay.
I wasn't able to handle them and how if they were to jump on me and affect me in that way. So he told me to wait outside. And how they described it, how they told me, is when they opened that door, they saw 3 chests stacked up, like luggage chests. If you can imagine, like early 1900s, kind of 50s leather chests that had like
What's up,
brass
Lambo
fittings
dude?
on the sides and everything. So they looked at it, and that's all that
75%
was
is
inside of it. So the first chest that they
Alabama?
opened up, you know,
Yo.
was just some normal clothes.
Thanks, buddy. I
everything like
appreciate you.
that. And when they put that chest to the side, my brother told me he felt some real dark energy in the next 2. So he looked at me outside the doorway, and what was very creepy about it was because there's no electricity out there. So we parked our vehicles to face the shack. We turned on our headlights, and that was like the only light that you could see.
Crazy.
So being in my perspective, you're standing here, you're looking in a truck with its lights blaring at you. You can only see at the rim of the light right there. You can't see anything beyond that. So he told me, he was just like, if there's Skinwalker relics, if there's Skinwalker stuff in here, Yanagloshi stuff, they might want to come and reclaim it. They might not want all the evil prayers and everything that was said and done to be released or get rid of in this area. So he said, be ready just in case something comes running at you. And you would only have, like, it was probably from me, I would have to say about like 10 feet away from me.
Crazy.
You'd only have that quick amount of seconds to be able to react if something came running at you. So me being one of my first times.
What's up, Beanie? How you doing, bud?
I was nervous.
Oh yeah,
Southern
nice.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared. So as they make their way to the second
Little
chest
Southern
that was right
twang.
there, they opened it up, and you hear a creak kind of open it up. It was really old, rusty hinges. And when they opened it, you heard a woman scream. And there was no women in our party at that night. It was just the 2 homeowners, and normally the men folk kind of go out.
What's
and
up,
handle
Rudolph?
the evil and darkness that's
Doug?
out there.
What's up, bud?
So that gave me instant chills when I heard a woman scream. So how my brother told me, there was 4 sacred stones inside of there, as well as a picture of a woman, kind of like a Polaroid picture of a woman in there. Now, to this day, we don't really know who it was. We did give it to the authorities, and it wasn't on a missing persons report or anything like that. We asked the family and the relatives, and they said they didn't know who that was. So to this day, we don't really know who that was, but we did say a prayer for whoever it was. If it was kind of a captured lost spirit, lost soul inside of that chest that was right there, we made sure that she went on to a good place. But after that, my brother said this is the last chest that's right here at the bottom. And when they opened that up, you could feel that darkness shoot out of that shack.
That's crazy.
Right there. And
When I hear
already, shaken up by the
we should
female
cool off a bit. How are you?
scream,
Good, Beanie. How you doing, bud?
You can feel that evil energy.
You all cooling off
come
again
out.
there?
And inside of the chest was Skinwalker regalia.
They transforming into bro in the pic.
There was the skins inside. There was the antlers. That
105 is crazy.
The weapons and washte that this individual would use when they would go out and skinwalk and everything. My brother brought those out and he showed me the antlers, and he pointed out a particular thing.
That was my
on
UFO.
Those antlers.
That was me.
There was 4 blood drops on the antlers, and for the Anagloshis, they say for every kill that you have, you put a blood drop on your antlers like that.
Oof.
So this person had taken 4 lives in his time on this earth.
5?
So from that point on, they gather up.
Cholos kind of do the same things. They put teardrops in their eyes for every life they take in. So.
The rocks and the stones and the pictures and the regalia, they put the little items inside of a leather pouch that they have, and we took it back to the homestead and we started a fire. And so my brother said,
hold on, my bad, I hate to pause this real quick, but Mikey's Blackfeet differ from a bit from Navajo on Skinwalkers. We kind of believe in it's any person with animal power that chooses disharmony, and there are beliefs that change in the spirit changes the skin. Okay, I get that. That's understandable. What about Bigfoot, bro? Because listen, we're going to go out there and we're going to hunt Bigfoot again. I never recorded it, but I have gone out to Oregon and Washington, went to the Bigfoot headquarters, signed in sheet, went to the last spottings. Oh my God, that place is so eerie and creepy, but beautiful. But Bigfoot, we're going to find you.
This is going to be a little ceremony right here that's going to, in a sense, release the spirit of this buck back to whoever killed it in the wrong way. Because when you kill an animal, when you go and hunt and you eat it, there's a little honoring prayer, a little honoring ceremony you do to thank the spirit for its sacrifice to be able to feed the family. But the Skinwalker and Yanagloshis do the opposite of that. So this spirit had a lot of angst toward its killer and everything.
He was upset.
With that, my brother said, when we do this ceremony, these beings that are around, they might want to come and stop us because they know what ceremony we're going to be doing. While we were getting the fire set up, I remember I was chopping wood.
Bigfoot AI is crazy, bro. Bigfoot AI is crazy.
Mind you, the sun was
much love, Mikey. I appreciate that sub.
And you start hearing dog whistles. And dog whistles, you hear like psss. And the dogs would start barking because they sense those evil Yanagloshis around. Once they did those dog whistles, the dogs shut up. They didn't say anything, they didn't bark or nothing, and that's how they can get inside of your home. That's when we knew we were on edge. And nearby that homestead was a canyon or a cliff face.
Much love, Mikey.
It was right there. So on that canyon walls, on the right, if you were to go down the right path, it'll teach you the way on how to become a good medicine man. But if you take the left, it'll teach you how the evil ways on how to be an evil person in a sense. So right in their backyard, they kind of had the training grounds for a lot of these beings. We started the ceremony, and my brother warned me. He's just like, I'm gonna be singing these songs, and I want you to watch
fix
my
the
back,
smoke machine.
because I can't stop. Once the ceremony starts, I can't stop to be able to make sure the ceremony goes good. So if anything comes running at me, you need to handle business and do what you need to do. I said, okay. He started the ceremony, and they had a solar generator at their house, which was about, the house and the shack itself would have to be like 500 yards, I would have to say, away from it. So they had solar on their home, so they had a porch light. So the porch light was shining down on the home, and you could see the rim of the edge of the light.
Hit the like button. Hell yeah, hit that like button. I appreciate you guys.
When he started
hit that hard as much as you can.
I saw what looked like to be a figure, a silhouette of somebody walking at the edge of the light.
Oh, hell no.
Really kind of hunched over like this and just walking and just looking at us.
So right there, just trying to make a dollar.
And another one showed up on this other side over here. I got really nervous, but as my brother, this was starting to be the end of the ceremony when more of them started showing up right there. But as my brother was about to finish the ceremony, they all ran. They ran back toward the cliff face where they were, and there was a huge gust of wind. It was a calm night like this. A huge gust of wind comes when he finishes the ceremony, almost blows out the whole fire. And that's when my brother said that's when that buck went straight for where those skinwalkers were. And over at the cliff face that was about a good mile or two away, you hear a scream, a monstrous scream out there. So I guess you can say the buck got its revenge for the evils that was done against him.
That's crazy. The legends I've seen, Skinwalkers steal human like a werewolf, not really spiritual. I think it's a little bit of both. Some of the stories I've read is like I had a marine story where he was he was guarding a post out in the woods. Something came up to him that was like, it told him to open up the post door, which is like, remind you, it's a little room. He's at like deep in the forest and he's down the road, maybe like a quarter mile down the road. And he, it's a military base, so he's guarding. He opens up the sign to let people in and out. Middle of the forest, camp. Something comes up to him. He's by himself, little room box, right, with the little mechanical arm. Tells him to open up the door and that he's being relieved for his duty for the night. But the dude had no eyes. And then that's when he called in and realized that he wasn't being exchanged for another employee, for another soldier. And then that's when he found out that it was a Skinwalker. Much love for that. I appreciate that, you guys.
So that was one of my most intense, I would have to say lightly, encounters I had with the Yanagloshi.
Also, Bigfoot, yeah, technology nowadays, I get that, Matt. I also believe sort of like that, but once you start getting out there and you get to Oregon and Washington and you drive deep out there in the forest and you get to the top of the mountain and you oversee the trees, bro, it's so big. It's so vast. And yeah, we maybe like a little heat drone can go out there and sensor it with a little heat camera. But there's a reason why they have a camp out there that's a military base, and they tell their military they're not allowed to go out there in the woods at night. And if they do, they can't go they can't go too far for reasons they don't really explain.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Holy shit.
Angel, that's rough. You might want to check your shorts, bud.
Well, guess we gotta have you tell another story, man, since you got multiple, because that's
Let's be real. This guy, that is not tobacco.
wild. Who do you think was the person who had transformed?
The person that was in the shack?
Yeah.
You don't mind putting this, if you don't put, okay.
Yeah.
It was actually, this one, so whenever we went against these Yanagloshis or Skinwalkers and everything, it happened in our earlier years in our prime.
Yo, much love for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, our earlier years in our prime. So
what's up, Angel?
This had to have,
where they're doing
this
the
one
same
was
thing,
a
but
lot
it's two
more
guards and they see
recent
this
because,
missing. That's crazy.
When
That's
you kind of get old,
similar stories.
Age, when you get to your 20s and all that stuff, you're kind of considered old when it comes to that point. So we were actually up in our homeland in Black Mesa, and this was just a normal family gathering that we were having up there. And our whole family was there. We were building a whole one together and everything. So at this point, they only have like a one.
I'll tell you what, but if that was tobacco, he would have stayed puffing on it.
Bedroom home up there, so all my family were there, so they were staying inside. So I was just like, you know what? It's a beautiful night. You see the stars and everything. I'll just sleep in a cot on the bed of a truck. I was like, okay, cool. My uncle slept inside of the truck, inside of the dash and everything, or in the cabin. And so as I was sleeping, it was a beautiful night, nice and cool and everything. So as I'm sleeping, the night goes on, and I notice some noises kind of coming around me, which was kind of weird because we have deer, we have elk, and we have wild horses up there and cattle too. So I started hearing some crunches in the middle of the night. I would have to imagine it was around like 2, 3, 4 o'clock. It was before the sun was actually started to show in the morning, so it's still really dark outside. So I heard this, and I was just like, naturally I kind of just like wake up just a little bit, and right at that point was when I started to feel darkness kind of come in. And if you can imagine the feeling of evil and darkness, it's a weird,
I was about to say, what does that
sensation.
feel
It's a weird heat feeling that you feel. And like I said, it was a cool night, so I was just like, why am I feeling warm toward my back? I was laying on my side, and toward my back on the bed of the truck, I started feeling that. So that's when I woke up. My instincts kind of woke me up, and I was just like, I need to check out what this is. But as I got up, I couldn't move.
Okay.
I was like,
paralyzed.
So when I tried, whenever I'm out there, I sleep with my weapons or my sword that I have. And
Wait,
I
bro
tried
sleeps with
reaching
a
for my
sword?
sword, but I couldn't move my body, and I could hear footsteps kind of come up close to the truck, and I was just like, this isn't my family, this isn't my, you know, anyone good that I can
Hell yeah, appreciate you,
recognize.
Derek. Have a good night, bud.
So I tried reaching for my sword, and I started to panic as the footsteps kind of started getting closer.
Okay.
And everything I had in my body to start moving my arm out of desperation of my life, honestly.
A bit higher pitch?
I reached for my sword and I grab it. And once I grabbed it, it seemed like that paralysis, that paralyzing
that
effect
sleep
that
paralysis
was on me went off.
We've talked
and
about
I
that
grabbed my
before.
sword and I quickly turned and I saw something dark start bolting toward the tree line and everything. But right before I grabbed my sword, I kind of turned my head like that, and I could see what looked like somebody slowly reaching and had his hand over my head, and he was putting. My camera just died.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Do you need a battery?
It just went from full battery to 0.
What the heck?
I just changed it out in the car.
All the energy out there,
Are you
huh?
trying to get it? You might need a light too.
Yeah, here. I'll just go run and grab it.
A light.
Gotta be careful, yeah.
I'll look for snake.
All right, man. Ran all the way back to the car. You can see it's noticeably darker now that we started filming.
Holy hell, it is, huh?
Hell yeah.
All right, you were in the middle of talking about it coming up to you in the truck bed.
Yeah. So right now we're in the time of the spirit realm right now, when the spirits are walking around. So if you see somebody behind me, please let me know.
Will do.
So yeah, so as I was I started reaching for my sword and I turned around. I saw this hand kind of over me like this, and he was putting something on my head and on my face. So when I grabbed my sword, he turned and ran. So as he ran, I got up and I started banging on the truck for my uncle to wake up. So my uncle woke up and I was like, Yanagloshi. He got up and we started looking around and everything, and he was already long gone. But then like he got his flashlight, he looked on me and everything, and he saw a white powder on my face, and that was that washte, the bone powder. So that's one of those things that night it was a family occasion. You know, we didn't go out there for ceremony. You know, I wasn't really expecting it for something like that to kind of come about. So normally when that happens, you go out to face these things. You put ash on, you put these sacred things on. So I was just a normal time, you know, just going to sleep at my family.
That's crazy.
Occasion.
Sleeping out there is crazy.
I was ill prepared at that time, but now
Ban
I know.
people and catch.
You know, just be careful when you sleep out there in the middle of the
I'll
night.
look into that, Mikey.
So that's something that, you know.
Give me a little info on that.
We
Give
had
me
to
some
do a
info.
ceremony for me to make sure that I didn't inhale or get sick or from the curse and everything like that. So I always say, when you're on the reservation, be careful sleeping out in a tent or just out in the open in the middle of the night. Yeah, it may be beautiful, but you also have to understand that there's things that run around in the middle of the night, even out here too. So
yeah,
I always gotta say, be careful out there, everybody.
The dark spirit feeling.
That's crazy. That's wild, dude. Any other experiences?
So the
granddaddy purple
eeriest
smacking.
beings I would have to say that I've encountered and learned about are beings in English called soul eaters. Now,
soul eaters
in the spirit world, you know, you have these beings that were made from the Creator that roam around lands like this, who make sure that the spirit world doesn't get too cluttered. Now, when I talk about this is when people go get of old age, you know, they meet their time of when they pass away. It's more so scheduled. You know, your family members that are up in the next world, you know, they
don't think I've seen
so
a
they
ghost.
say when you get up there and you're ready to pass on into the next world,
we'll be going live with
your
that
journey,
too soon too.
They say a lot of family members, they start seeing old people that have passed on long ago. They say, you know, I see my mom, I see my dad, or I see my brother, somebody who already had passed on. And a lot of people kind of say like, oh, they're just getting old, they're deteriorating, or oh, they're kind of losing their mind. But that's not the case. When it comes to that, they're starting to have one foot in the spirit world and one foot in ours. So when they do pass on, those family members take them on their journey into the next world and whatever religion that
I wonder
you
if that's
follow.
why people
Most of them
see.
that I've encountered, they always see.
I wonder if they see. That's why people say that they see their family members like at hospitals and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that person's gone." They're like, "No, they're right there," and then they pass with them.
Talk
Very
about
common.
a white light or something of that nature, to where you're kind of going a journey to the spirit world, and you go on from there. Now, there are times when you meet your end at a unforeseen time, and these bugs really like me.
I'm not
They
sure,
say
Matt.
when you
Still
meet
debating.
Your fate, you meet your end at an unforeseen time. A lot of times, the family members and the spirits that are out there don't know that
What's
you
up,
have
Mike?
met your end, so they're not there to help guide you on your journey into the next world. Say you get murdered. Say you get in a car crash and you die unexpectedly.
Yo, 67 people up in here. Appreciate you guys watching the video. If you guys like it, hit that like button. If you end up liking the video, subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and let's get back to it.
You'll wake up. Well, one analogy I like to make is that movie Ghost, with I believe it's Patrick Swayze, and he met his end, and he gets up, he looks around, he's a spirit, but then he sees his body right there, and there are these dark
Little
shadows,
opener,
these dark
hell yeah.
beings that kind of came out of the ground and started
Wanishi?
chasing him around.
Hell yeah,
And
Mike. What's up, bud?
those, in a sense, are what we call soul eaters. Now, these beings, they come around and they kind of clean up a lot of the spirits that are lost, because in a sense, if you're a wandering spirit, you could be used for evil. You can have your soul captured and taken into the dark markets and sold, or all these horrid things, and be used for so many dark, evil ways. So he created
we're back,
those
buddy.
to kind of make sure that that doesn't happen.
I was in one house
to
and seen
make
shadow
sure
figures
that
and windows always. Ooh,
that
Benny.
evil doesn't have their way with you.
Anything
And
else
so,
happen?
When it comes to that, these beings come in all
Of course,
shapes
Matt.
and
Yeah, we could definitely
sizes.
do that.
And this one being that I met in particular was a soul eater, and to me, it creeped me the hell out, because it still gives me
Because he was
nightmares
a soul
to this
eater.
day. Because we were at a canyon, and it was a very, very spiritual night, to where spiritual beings learned how to manifest. It was a spiritual sight, spiritual evening, all these things kind of lined up.
That's what
to where these
skinwalkers
spirits
do.
could
They manifest.
during my trainings. And I remember seeing this being kind of come out of the darkness, come out of the shadows. And if you could picture a lion, but he had a flat face, but his whole entire body was made of bone. But not only that, the lion's mane was made out of human arms, human legs, and his whole body was made out of human body parts.
What the hell?
So it had a
What the hell?
really kind of horrible smell to him. Freaked me the hell out, but it's one of those things that we chased it off, because we were doing a ceremony for somebody who had recently
That's crazy.
passed away.
Ghosts do not
untimely death.
exist. Patrick
So
says
we had to
ghosts
go
don't
out and look
exist.
for their spirit and everything, but those beings, they can sniff when a spirit is kind of wandering and lost like that. So we had to chase those beings off, and we ended up finding that person.
That's
and
crazy.
sent them on their way. So that's one of the things. It's just like
Sent them on their way.
They all comes in all
Damn,
shapes and
right?
sizes, and the part that's freaky is normally people would have guardian spirits, family members that come down and look after them. Guardian angels, in a relative term, would come down and look after the person, protect them against evil beings throughout their life. So in cases like that, you know, they'll be the ones that kind of take them on their journey and everything. But for those that, you know, don't have those things, don't have those protections, those family members, it's scary, because that can happen. So that's where you get a lot of these hauntings as well, is because when a spirit would die an untimely death, they would freak out and start running when they see a soul eater coming their way. And
Hey, so me personally, I've never had really, like, I've heard things. I've seen something that I can't explain before that could have been a ghost, right? The whole Queen Mary situation where I seen a little girl. Had to be, you know. I've never seen, like, the ghosts that I've seen have always been human beings that, like, disappear, if you get me. Like, they don't disappear in front of my face. It's like I hit the corner and they're gone. Spirit as in like a silhouette of some sort. I've never seen anything like that, like in the middle of the night in the corner. You know, when you're getting some water in the middle of the night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you walk by, it's pitch black, and you look into your living room and you're like, hey demons, it's me, yeah boy. And you go and you get your water and you run back to your room really fast. I've never seen anything like that before. I used to also think that UFOs didn't exist until I seen some stuff in the air a couple of times that I just couldn't explain, and that was just so high up in the air, it couldn't have been a plane. Definitely UFO. So you guys have heard my stories about that and my encounter with the UFO that literally came up over my head. Was it an actual being thing? No, it was just a light, but still, that was crazy. And this was back before drones were even a thing, back in like 2008.
They would run into the nearest home. They would run into the nearest house that's there. So when they do that, they notice that the soul eater can't come inside the home.
We are energy.
And they notice
our energy goes out. I believe the
see
same thing, Yorkie.
a cross on their doorway, or they see a bow and arrow, they see arrowheads, or they see some type of protection on their home that a soul eater cannot come in there. And so that spirit will be like, okay, I'm just gonna hang out here in this house. You know, I'm gonna mess around with these people, just try to get their attention, see if I can get some help. That's where you have like doors opening and closing, see shadows, start seeing people in your home. So that's a lot of times what we come to find out is lost spirits, lost souls end up in these homes, and that's where you get a normal haunting most of the time. So
broad daylight is crazy,
man. Their final journey didn't have those spirits there to help them on their next step. So that's where, you know, there lost spirits like that. You know, whenever you go to these locations, you always have to be mindful of that. You know, because
hell yeah, Hannah, welcome back.
There could be a spirit calling for help, but there's also a darker, evil, demonic being that's holding them there.
They do.
I guess you can say like the Conjuring, when Valak had that old man in that home, you know, a similar case just like that, to where, you know, you would think that the old man is a bad person that's creeping out and freaking out these people, but it's actually a spirit that's calling out for help. So always.
Well, there has to be something, right? Because I mean, I think we kind of know that at some point all of our continents were all together and we were one big giant island. Some people think that, right? And then, or I'm not even sure if that's a fact or not, but I think it is. But you know, the Aztecs down in Mexico or wherever they were at down south, a little bit more south than that, how did all these pyramids from all these countries out in India, out in where's the other one at? How do they all have the same symbols on them though, engraved? How do they have the same people and same symbols all engraved, and these guys are separated by, you know, thousands of miles? Like, it's just crazy to me.
Be mindful of that. Always be, you know, think about the.
It's me, Nicole, work at Scenic because we're doing HVAC in the house.
So
hell
just,
yeah,
soul
HVAC.
eaters are,
good stuff,
something
bud. A mind left lingering decomposes. Yep, 100%, Mikey.
Yeah, I don't think I would either, man. What do you think is your craziest paranormal experience? Like, what was something that was just so profound
camera battery died
that it stuck with you?
Have a good night, brother. Love the content. Thanks for, of course, just the door guy.
Right.
Welcome back anytime, brother. Much love. Have a good night.
You ever investigate the Washoe Club?
Yeah, yeah, we did.
Would have to be there. So we went up there for an investigation to go check out the Washoe Club, and this was during our times of investigating and everything. We had a late member who passed away a couple years ago. His name was Pataya, who was there at the time as well. He had type 1 diabetes, but dude was the strongest guy out there. But we noticed that when we would go to these locations that the darker beings would kind of play and affect him and his diabetes that he had in his body. While we were there, we were up on, I believe, the second floor in the doll room.
No, it's okay, Boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
So we were in that room.
Much love, buddy, for tuning in.
Washoe Club was one of the craziest places that we've been to that had the most SB7 communication that we've had, or at least the most violent, I would have to say. So while we were there, he started getting affected. He started feeling kind of sick. So he asked if he can go outside and just chill by the truck, and we're just like, you have to ask the spirit if you can leave. And out of the doll, it was talking. It was just like, no, you can't go. And we're just like, he said you can't go. He's like, oh, I need to go. And then the doll got upset, and she was just like, I said stay. And he was just like, I can't stay. So as he was leaving, caught on the SB7, it said cut his throat.
Hell yeah, Boogeyman, much love. I appreciate that.
Steps, he got a huge pain in his stomach, and we almost had to carry him out and everything.
During
that investigation,
ooh, that's scary, Coco.
He rested outside, but he was just like, screw that, you know, I'm not gonna let anything affect me in that way. He came back in like the badass he was, and we went up to the red room, and he sat down and that's when he passed out. He was unfortunately, he started going under possession, and so but
that's terrifying.
We were instructed by our spiritual mentors to let it happen. Normally when stuff like that happens, our crew goes to stop it, but we were tasked, as this was going to be training for us. We had to learn how to overcome the darkness and come out of it our own. So it was hard to watch him go through that, but he had to learn how to come out of it himself, and it got to the point to where we had to step in and intervene. When we were doing performing
That's crazy. My question with the Aztec is this: how many sacrifices a day happened? Lots happened. They sacrificed for any little thing. A sacrifice was needed. Who knows why? Maybe they thought maybe it worked one day and they just relied on that. Who knows? I think back then people were just testing anything to see if anything worked. On Liar Saturday, I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm misreading it. That's not the only scary shit. I've worked in a bunch of old houses. Yeah, creepy stuff everywhere, man. Lighter? Yeah, I'm confused with that word. Maybe I'm up in that thing, right? Up there where they did the sacrifices. Fill me in, please. What are we watching? He's I don't want to mess it up. I want to say Navajo Indian. He's explaining his like encounters with skinwalkers and stuff like that. It's almost, we're about to, close out in a little bit, but that's why we have the replays live. Appreciate you, Texas. Much love for tuning in when you did. Yeah, buddy, I'll try to stay up to tune with you. Maybe if I can get you in the Discord, I can start hitting you up beforehand. Whenever you're free, you don't have to be here. You know what I mean?
Indigenous
It's all love.
exorcism that my brother knows.
Laser imaging. There we go.
Crazy things started happening. So there was a door that's in there, and my brother said to open it, let the air come through. So we opened the door, and as he was doing the ceremony, you see that door go and slam, and it says, "You're not going anywhere."
Oh wow!
So he ended up doing the ceremony. We got him back up and got him back to his normal self afterwards. But just, it felt like a whirlwind of energy coming in from the floor, out, so many different things all at the same time. And just to kind of be there and watch and everything, you would hear, that being
the
come
ground
through the SB7.
Oh, okay.
About
I know what you're talking about now, Matt.
It gave him visions of his family.
All right, Mikey, I get you.
He would do if he took that home. So that's one of those things we were taught to learn how to break those connections, make those offerings at the end of the investigations, to make sure nothing follows you home.
They also say that, I don't know if it was the Aztec, or I'm pretty sure it was the Mayans, that the Mayans there was just no trace of them either. All their stuff gone. Not a grave, not pots, not very, very little things were left. And there is a saying, or I don't know where I read somewhere, that, the Mayans were actually blessed and taken by extraterrestrials to another planet where they were there to live and have another civilization somewhere. Who knows why extraterrestrials did it? Who knows? Maybe it's like us testing things on people.
Damn.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I feel every time
graves,
you finish telling a
mounds,
story,
yep.
we're like, damn. Every single time.
Remember I told you about my cousin
actually
just
have
got out of
one
prison
more,
where he
if
told
that's
me the
okay.
most scary
Yeah,
story
of
that happened
course.
to him.
So,
Gave
have
me-
you been to the Gila County Jail?
Let's hear it, Boogeyman.
Which is in Globe?
I got a couple more minutes, buddy.
That place right there was one of the first times that we actually met an evil being that was more on the hellish scale, more
Hellish?
of a demonish kind of being. And that one was another one that we had an encounter that was really great. SB7 experiences and responses inside of there. So much so, when we got to the third floor of the jail, I myself kind of went under a brief possession, to where like I was standing there and I kind of just spaced out and my mind kind of just went somewhere else. And we were asking questions on the spirit box, and whenever we go into these investigations,
Maybe
we don't
they ran out of
announce that
food.
we're medicinal people. We don't announce that, who we are in our background as far as for helping spirits. So that kind of gauges to the power, I guess you could say, the power level of these beings that are inside of these places. And that's why we never really use our real names. So my name that I would use is Sean Clen, Warrior of the Shadows. So if the being was able to find out our real names, who we are, where we come from and everything, that's when you know it's like, okay, we're dealing with somebody who's pretty skillful in their trade. So we were there, and as I was kind of spacing out and everything, the SB7 spirit box came through my voice.
Benny, much love for tuning in.
The SB7
See you Saturday.
Use that ghost ceremony.
If you want to slide by.
And that right there it was also at that same time our light was really flickering and malfunctioning at that time. And like I kind of snapped out of it, and I was just like, everyone was like, "Did you say that?" I was like, "Say what?"
Possessed?
And then they're like, "Use that ghost ceremony." I was like, "No, you look at the footage, my mouth didn't move or nothing like that." So we were walking around. There's these spirits that were calling out to us and like, "Do you need help from this being that's here?" And there's a being that's there called the Mad Hatter. And
the Mad Hatter.
We would ask these spirits that are there, we're just like, "Are you stuck here?" And it's just like, "Yes, we're stuck." And it's like, "Why haven't you moved
the French
on?"
catacombs is crazy.
God has forsaken us. This demon put it in their mind that there's no hope.
Ripped your pants.
They can't get out.
Oh,
or
Hannah, you
like that.
pulled the SpongeBob.
And there's some places in this world that you are even cut off from God and the Creator, to where even the angels and those guys can't hear your prayers. Kind of circling back to the lost spirit thing. If you're in a home and all that other stuff and you're a lost spirit, normally you can pray to the Creator and they can come and help you. But there's some times when you get stolen by these evil beings, they'll take you at certain places to where even your prayers can't be reached out. It's so dark, so evil,
deep,
that they can't hear your prayers. You're just completely cut off from the spiritual world. So that's where you kind of go more into the darker things of spiritual slave trade. Kind of like how we have human trafficking. There's the same thing in the spiritual world too. Spirits.
Dude, I thought I done got. Hannah, they almost got your ass.
So this is one of those things to where you would have spirits call out for help.
Matt's laughing too.
You would have mediums and everything that would go in and kind of don't really know what they're doing. They would go in there and be like, "Hey, you're set free. You can go to God now." But you know, they would call upon a light.
What's up, Courtney? How you doing tonight?
But those spirits would be chained to the floor, and they would try to reach it, but that demon had them in there.
Look, another battery.
That's really strange.
Another battery died. 100% full to zero.
See, now
I brought another one
good,
too,
guys.
just in case.
Much love, brother.
But
Appreciate
that was full too.
So when it comes to the spiritual world, a lot of people think it's kind of black and white when it comes to just spirits, demons, and angels. There's so many different factions of spiritual beings from other dimensions and from our own and infinitely beyond too. So it's elaborate. You have these cities of spirits. You have, you know, all these beings that have certain tasks on this world and everything. So that's why whenever we would go investigate, we would try to meet these new beings to try to give new stories of the beings that you interact with. So if you go to the places like this, you know, there's a mountain that's right here. There's guardian spirits that are here. Oh, you have nature spirits, you have desert spirits. You have night spirits that are out right now here too. So you have beings that live in the earth, you have beings that live in the sky, beings of the springtime, the wintertime, that's all here. So
we've already confirmed, Boogeyman. That shit is not the backy.
You have to learn how to use those things, but there's also third party non-natural beings that come around. You have soul eaters, you have phantoms, you have all these other beings of hell, beings of good. You know, you have tribal spirits that are here and all their spirits that they have as well. And then you also have a city that's right here too with all these different nationalities. So they have their spirits that are here too as well. And they come here to these natural spots and locations of energy where they
Navajo is so different.
Yep. Spiritual markets. They have all these different.
This guy's smart. I support him. Hella. Yep.
So many elaborate things, and it's a
he really is
world. But on the darker side
very
too,
informed.
like I was mentioning the lost spirits and everything. Sometimes soul collectors, soul merchants come and take those beings, and
looks like his fog machine's
they
working
grab
too.
You and put you inside of a pouch with all these other souls. They go to those dark markets and everything. They can sell you to get all these
definitely got to be smoking the good stuff to be out there. Calm, right? He's way too chill.
This location was one of those spots of transferring all these spiritual beings.
Really?
They would go from this place to the next to the next.
I did not. Hey, I missed that. Matt said that he can't stop smoking it while he's talking about this, something with this tradition. I missed that part completely. See, that's why Matt's here sometimes. I'm just playing. Matt's here all the time. I appreciate you, buddy. You guys, you and Boogeyman, and you guys always catch things that I miss. So it goes over my head, but it doesn't go over yours.
We ran a ceremony
speaking
to where
some true stuff. I believe it, Derek.
This being was named
which legit Darkus. Then he is 100% things.
And what come to find out in our research was he was one of the spiritual captains of a dark lord in hell called Zagan. Zagan, which was like I think he's considered the king of hell or something. So he was one of his commanders who was looking over the globe and everything.
Yo, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and cut for tonight. it's Wednesday. We're back in action. I'll see you guys Saturday night. We'll continue with this video. So if you guys want to watch the rest of it, you can either watch it with me Saturday, or you can go out to the Paranormal Files on YouTube and watch it completely. I think it's like 2.5 hours long. Check it out. Go subscribe to him. Hit us up. I'm going to go spend some time with my newborn. I appreciate you guys. Much love for tuning in. And I'll see you guys Saturday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, Pacific time zone. Also, check out our comic book. Check out the comic book. It's in our posts on the YouTube channel. There's chapter 3 out. We should be releasing chapter 4 tonight. If we don't get it by tonight, we'll do it tomorrow morning. Read them. I appreciate it. It's mostly for our members. We're going to start locking them at chapter 5, and then they'll get released. They get early access, and then everybody else gets to see it like a couple days later. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I love you. Much love. Have a good night.
Yes, you. Do you dread waking up in the morning? Are you feeling helpless in your society? Perhaps even a bit lost? Well, look no further.
Well, as millions head to U.S. national parks this summer, we are shedding light on a little-known list called the List of the Missing.
All new Scareflix merch 10% off.
A ranger on the list of the missing for more than 4 decades, and cases go back further. The National Park Service has faithfully kept records of visitors who are gone, often without a trace, and the list is long.
Police have identified 4 victims and plan on more than just the 4 murder charges filed today.
Good evening. You're turned into Scareflix News at midnight.
Confirm earlier reports of cannibalism.
Reports are coming in of unexplained screams echoing through an abandoned coal mine in West Virginia.
The building was a scene of ghoulish slaughter.
Local authorities refuse to investigate. Witnesses say it doesn't want to be found.
A large kettle on the stove which held boiled body parts.
In other news, several viewers have claimed strange activity begins the moment they tune into live stream on a channel called Scareflix.
Identified 4 victims.
Please stay indoors, lock your doors, and whatever you do, don't go offline. You're watching Scareflix News, your last reliable source for what lurks after dark.
Welcome to Scareflix, where nightmares come to life. In just a few seconds, the scariest videos on YouTube will begin. Are you ready to face your fears?